Let's go Astros! God damn, that was a thrilling game. But while the Astros were knocking out the Red Sox, the Rockets were doing their own bludgeoning. They whooped the Thunder's booty by a whopping 33 points. The team looked day and night different from what they showed in the season opener against the Timberwolves. The flow of the offense was much better and the defense was much improved. It is hard to tell how much the difference in competition contributed to this, but regardless, this was an amazing bounce back game for this team and a great show for the fans who did show up. This time around, the Rockets were actually very good in pushing the ball and playing with an up-tempo pace. They were using and abusing their athleticism and speed in transition, and more so doing it effectively and efficiently without generating reckless turnovers. However, when they were forced to play their half-court offense, this time around the Rockets were very prepared. They were getting into the right offensive sets, which allowed players to take advantage of certain matchups. Sometimes it did take them around 10 seconds to get everything set up, and then the play would ensue 14 seconds left on the shot clock. But I would rather see them take their time rather than them panicking and looking lost. Eventually, they will be getting into these sets as they run up to the court, which would be the next level for the team as a whole. It really helped that we were on fire from downtown, hitting 45% of our threes and 51% from the field. When a team catches fire like that, it is very hard to lose. But the blowout can be attributed to our commitment on defense. We completely outclassed this team in that department, and it showed for every minute we were on the court. Now, I don't know if the third string team's play from last game lit a fire in our first and second string team, but god damn did they look different today. Christian Wood played like the number one option that he is and should be, and led the charge for the Rockets. He was unstoppable, putting up 31 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 blocks. He did a phenomenal job in taking advantage of his matchups. Considering that the OKC team in general is on the smaller side, Bazley being their power forward, he almost always had a mismatch every time the Rockets were in their half-court set. It was just a matter of getting him the ball and clearing his side of the court. However, he was not just effective in the face-up game, Wood was also great off the ball. Whether it was hitting catch-and-shoot threes or moving into the right position to receive passes for easy dunks and layups around the rim, he was phenomenal. In addition to his offense, he also tallied 3 blocks, along with some great contests that forced misses at the rim. This is something we need to see more from him, considering he's our most athletic big man. If he can be the two-way force that we know he has the potential to be, it can allow the rest of our team to flourish in a pressure-free environment. Speaking of the rest of our team, how about Kevin Porter Jr.? After an abysmal 9-turnover outing against the Wolves, he completely 180'd this game, dropping a double-double with 18 points and 10 assists while shooting 7 for 16 from the field and 4 for 8 from downtown. He was not making any crazy jaw-dropping passes, but just simple, easy reads that allowed him to do his job as the point guard, which is to set up his teammates. Something that I have noticed from KPJ in particular is that he is a phenomenal three-point shooter from the corners. I think of the 6 threes he has made thus far into the regular season, 5 of them are from the corner. He also tallied 2 steals and 2 blocks, which is a welcome sight and honestly should be done with more consistency considering he is 6'6" and has the measurement advantage over most of the point guards in the league. He still has ways to go, but this was a great foundation for him to build off of and maybe even get better as the season progresses. As great as Wood and KPJ were, I was most impressed and excited by Jae'Sean Tate. My man had a day. He dropped 16 points, 14 freaking rebounds, and 5 assists. He stuffed the stat sheet while being super efficient, 6 for 9 from the field and 2 for 2 from 3. His versatility, kind of like a Swiss Army knife, at the 3 spot is his biggest selling point, and this game showcased that. Many fans do feel that he is too small to play the 3 considering he is roughly 6'4", maybe 6'5" on a good day. But when you watch him play, he plays way bigger than his size. He was able to bully some Thunders in the paint for some hard-earned buckets and layups. More importantly, he hit 2 threes. That is exactly what you want to see from him. Eric Gordon was once again tearing it up. His stock continues to increase, and if he can stay healthy, he will be one of the most intriguing players going into the trade deadline. Maybe even with his contract, he could still fetch quite a good package. I know Jalen Green's stats are not eye-popping, but he showed some amazing stuff in the game. He was able to blow by defenders with his amazing agility and burst, but also rise above the rim for some nice finishes and some interesting non-calls. Once he gets his shot going, which he will, he is going to put up some numbers. I felt like Alp had a decent game. He had 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 blocks, but a lot of his praise is countered by the fact that he had 6 turnovers. Many of his turnovers were from flashy passes or him just trying to bail out of a bad situation. He was trying to make plays that were just not there. Honestly, I am okay with that because he does need to figure out what works in the league and what doesn't. Still a long season to go, but I'm very happy with the fact that we not only won, but we blew them out. Our next game is against the Celtics, who are 0-2 after dropping one to the Knicks and the Raptors, and honestly, they will be coming out for blood. They're desperate for their first victory of the season and will be a great test for our team. They have a pretty solid defense, so it will be fun to see how our players find ways to break through for some easy buckets.